Imagine if David ran away from Goliath. The Philistines would have gotten the victory, right? Okay. So, a story is told of a boy who was a stammerer. He was a young boy in school and he really had passion for academics, but the other students in class used to laugh at him so much. His name was Testimony. Testimony would go to give a presentation and everyone would laugh because whenever he went before people, the nervousness, the anxiety used to make him to stammer a lot. So his uncle was the one who was funding his school life, and then the uncle passed away, and the dad decided, you know what, my boys, you're not going to school anymore. But because he was the last born and he was young, the dad was like, you just finish the term and I'm no longer paying the fee because I cannot afford it. My redeemer is dead, our provider is dead, and I cannot be able to provide for the school fees. So there was this one teacher who used to encourage him like so much. He would tell him, you know what, you're able, you can do it. It doesn't matter what others say in you. What matters is you believing in yourself. It is you taking the Goliath in your hands and willing to fight him. And so the boy used to push and push and push. So by the end of the term, that teacher realized, Jesus Christ, realized that there was a competition. It was a Christian competition where kids were to memorize 50 memory verses in 5 minutes. The teacher was like, because I want this boy to continue with his academics, because the boy had shared the story with the teacher, I would do what? I will allow him to sit for it. So he started everything. Is it calling for someone to come and teach him how to speak regardless of the stammering? But when the first time of going, like, see, of course in a competition there are steps until you get to the final. The first step, he failed. He could not utter a sentence without stammering. And so he failed, and he felt so pathetic. When he went home, the dad was like, I knew you were a failure. I don't know even why I wanted you to go and do this, because you can never do it. You don't know how to talk well. So he felt so bad of himself, and he went to his room. He cried. He took the Bible and he was studying the verses that he said he would study, he would give. He was studying them. And then there was this verse, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I can do all the things through Christ who gives me strength. And then he cried until he slept. And then when he slept, Jesus appeared to him and he told him, you can do all things through me that giveth strength. I will give you strength. You get that? And so he woke up and he started praying. He prayed and prayed and prayed until the other brothers, the mom and the dad, were awoken. They woke up and they were like, who is this? And then he went back to sleep. So the dad forbid him from going to school days on, and he was like, okay. He went to his father's shop and started selling there. And then the teacher visited the shop. He found him and told him, I want you to come back to school. And then he said, my dad said no. So the teacher went to the dad and told the dad, please allow him to come back. I know that God will give him another chance. The God of the 11th hour, he will surely appear. And then he started telling the dad. So the dad was like, no, my son is not going back. And so he started telling the dad, you want your children to be like you. You want your children to be fearless the way you are. And so on and so forth. And then the dad became aggressive and fukuzad and threw him out and said, don't ever come again to my home. And that was it. The man just went. So when the man went, I don't know what happened to the dad, because the son was like told, go back to school. The next day he went and told the teacher, whatever you did to my dad, Aki, God bless you. He said that I should never leave school, that he will fight however he can to make sure that I go through this academics and I finish. And he was very like pleased, and the boy was very happy. So what happened, the management called him back and said, this boy that you brought to us, he was very determined to do this thing, so we will give him a special contest, a special contest where he will have to memorize a verse in a minute without stammering. He can do everything, but he should not stammer, and it will be one verse and in a minute. So when the boy was told, he was very happy. He went and sat down and started memorizing verses. Sasa he was remembering how whatever the anaitangwa aje, whoever that comes to talk to the people who cannot like talk eloquently, he was telling her, she was telling him, breathe, say the word in your brain before you vocalize it. And that's what he was doing. He was like, I can do all this like that until he completed the story, the memory verse. And then because he had memorized many, he slept, and on the day of the contest he woke up, dressed, and went. When he found the teacher said to him, say to me whatever verse you're going to say. And he said no. He didn't talk, like, no. The teacher was like, okay, let's go. They went, they got there. And when he was given the microphone, he was told, you are a special contestant. You'll just give us a verse in a minute. So he went there and he was like fidgeting. And then he calmed his senses down. And then he said that Philippians 4:13 verse. And when he was done saying that verse, more and more verses came. He was like, Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Philippians 4:4, rejoice in the Lord always, again I say rejoice. Psalms 23 verse 1, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Like that. Galatians 2:20, I don't know Philippians. I was saying verses after verses after verses after verses. And that's how like he made it. He said he said the 40 verses in the given time that others did. That made even the other contestants to fidget, that some who were eloquent were not able to say the verses. So the story teaches us, face your Goliath. It doesn't matter whatever it takes. Face your Goliath, fight him. Because if David fidgeted and did not face the Goliath, the story maybe would not be existing, right? If the boy fidgeted and did not face his talking problem, maybe his story would not be there. Yeah. Blessings.